How you doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal, and today we're going to talk about a sequel to a very early NES racing title. Also, a very important title for, what's them people? Rare. Because this was before Rare got in really good with Nintendo and gave us the Donkey Kong Country games and all the other Super FX stuff that they did with Nintendo. And it was years before they threw in their lot wholeheartedly with Microsoft. But this is a fantastic little racing game. It's the sequel to a title that they released in 1988. So the 4 years, they didn't really tweak a lot graphically. But boy, oh boy, gameplay went up. And yeah, it's not a whole lot to talk about, but it's a fantastic title. So let's go ahead and get into it. Stop beating around the bush. Today, we're going to take a look at RC Pro-Am 2. Now, RC Pro-Am, back in 1988 when it originally released, it was a fantastic game. It played different from stuff like Rad Racer, and it played different from arcade titles like Pole Position, stuff like that. This was a racing game all its own. Sequel has a lot of those same mechanics, a lot of the same charm that made the original so popular. The difference is, in this one, there's a little more graphical variety as far as the tracks are concerned. You have more jumps, you got water hazards, you got off-road style tracks, stuff like that. And you can also play a 4-player race in this game versus the original, which sold a lot of gamers because a lot of folks that had the 4-score or the NES Satellite were hungry for multiplayer titles that allowed 4 players to play together. And this was probably, out of all the racing games that were 4-player, this was probably the best of them. Yeah, it's like I said before, it's the same mechanics or the same formula. You race as one of 4 RC cars on a track. Based on how you place, you get points and money. You can use those points and money in the shop between races to upgrade your truck and go from there. You can get weapons for your vehicle, better acceleration, better control with tires, extra lives, all this stuff. And look, for my money, the RC Pro-Am games have always just been really good fun. The original still holds up incredibly well and is one of my favorite racing games of the 80s, period. And like I said, in the 80s, we got Pole Position and its sequel, we got Monaco GP, Hang On, Outrun, all these different titles. RC Pro-Am sits right up there with a lot of those. It's a fantastic little title, and the sequel just builds on the formula that was set in 1988 and gives us a lot more for our money. The Genesis version of this game, Championship Pro-Am, plays a lot like this one, though for whatever reason, those 16-bit graphics kind of strip away some of the charm of the NES titles. And this one is kind of like just a straight up, this is a straight up 8-bit port of Championship Pro-Am on the Genesis, in my opinion. I may be wrong. I am a lot of the time. But this is a fantastic little racing game. And if you can play it, I guarantee that you'll have a great time with it, especially if you can get 3 other people to play it with you. Now, if you want a copy of this, there are a couple of different ways you can go about this. You know, there's the emulator ROM situation. You can do that. You can try to track down a physical cart. If you want a physical cart, be prepared to pay. Lowest price I saw for a physical cart was like $90. So be prepared to pay that money. It's a pricey price to pay for a fantastic racing game. There is also, if you have an Xbox or a console in the Xbox family that will play it, this game was included as a part of Rare Replay. Same as other Rare titles that we've discussed so far this year, like Battletoads and Double Dragon and Snake Rattle and Roll. So I would definitely, that's probably the safest and most cost-effective way to play RC Pro-Am 2 if you have a means to play it. And I definitely would guarantee that you'll have a fantastic time playing it. It's a great racing game. But this has been the 8-Bit Animal, and I'll catch you beautiful people tomorrow. Tomorrow. Wait a minute. Are we working for a moving company or fighting aliens? Because all I see us doing is pushing boxes around.